Where the hell did I put my phone? Damn it. Stupid phone. Ah, there it is. Let's see, who knows if this is even streaming at the moment. I was trying to message some people. Hey Miles. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so as you can see, things are being disassembled. This is the fan unit that comes out of my existing air filter assembly, and we're basically just going to redo how we're doing it because I am getting tired of it being above my workspace, particularly when like I swing the microscope out, and it also limits how far I can bring the screens across. So I want to get the screens a little more front facing. So yeah, this here is the 8-inch or 200mm fan unit, and it's a hell of a beast of a thing. It will shift 1000 cubic meters of air an hour, which is quite a bit. Obviously it's quite a bit less once you put filters in front of it, and for filters we're using basically that. Now it's very simple, but it does a good job without being very expensive. I buy like 5 of these for $50 or something like that. It's very cheap. These are car interior HEPA filters, so they've also got carbon inlay in them. They're not probably really up to the true HEPA filter standards that we want, but they are going to do a good enough job for scrubbing the sort of fume from the flux and things like that. So anyway, the plan I have got, we're going to go in 2 phases here. The initial phase is to actually mount this assembly to the back here. So it's got this mounting plate, and it will be facing up this way because you're in, out, and it just gets pushed up against those. So we're going to put this just down on the back of this 70 by 35 at the correct height, and then we have to cut away a portion of this melamine desk, not melamine, chipboard MDF combination. It's 32mm thick, and it's got a chipboard layer, and then it's also a MDF layer, and so it gives you the strength and cheapness at the same time. So that's phase 1. The second phase then, once the fan assembly is actually sitting there, we will create the filter box that sits on top of it. Filter needs RGB. Yeah. And on top of this filter box we will be able to, we'll have some kind of shroud that will then force the air to be drawn in from the front. Anyway, so given that it's close to midnight, I don't know how far we're going to get. We do have our safety equipment, of course. Yeah, so really the first phase is to find out what sort of cutout I need. Now I can do a minimal cut. It's going to be a bit tricky though, as in if I try to make a nice little circular cut. But I'll see what I can do. I kind of, having this board here kind of is messing with it a bit, which is unfortunate. Let's see, this is 200. It pretty much is exactly 200 to be honest. In fact, let's see, I've got my template here. This is the old elbow and adapter that would sit on the top of the filter like that. And that essentially was my intake construction. So what we'll do, flippin' heck, it was all friction fit. We will use this here as the template to cut. Chances are I'll get it completely wrong. what I need to work out, I'm going to try and do it accurately. Yeah, okay. Now, these nubs here, they basically need to sit flush to that 35 at the back there, because they come all the way through to the bottom of this plate. So what do we... Got the wrong kind of ruler for that, Paul. Where's your little steely? I don't know where my steely is. Okay, I should have my plastic 3060 around here somewhere. I don't know why I never have my rulers. .3060 located. Oh, could have also used a depth gauge. Depth gauge would have worked too. Ah, well, anyway, doesn't matter. Okay, so Paul's eyeballs have no idea what they're reading. So we're looking at 30 millimeters. We'll call it 30, just, yeah. So what's that mean, Paul? What's that mean? Yeah, what does that mean? Okay, so 30 plus 35, so 65. From 65 off the wall, I start my 200, so 265 will be the other end of the circle. Yeah, naturally. The goddamn board's in the way. How did I know that was going to happen? Because it's just the way it is. Okay, we can do that with the tape at least. $265. It's good enough. But never follow rules. That is true, true, true. RGB increases the frames per sec. What? Yeah, that's okay. Oh, I gotta get this separated now. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Warren. That was a very expensive elbow, that one. Well, this is where it's crucial to make sure I get things absolutely smack on perfect. Now you realize, of course, I'm going to be obscuring my PowerPoints, which you can't see there. But I've got to think about where I am going to sit, because once this is done, the most optimal... Yeah, this is gonna be hilarious. I'm probably going to have to end up... You can't see it there, but I'm going to have to end up lifting my PowerPoint. Yeah, come on. Yeah, you can just see it now. How bad was the filter off all the fumes? It wasn't too bad. I had a 2-foot long carbon filter carrying most of the weight. So sadly, it seems like I want to naturally be right in line with that PowerPoint, which sucks. But that seems to be where I want to be. Measure twice, cut once, yeah, and then get a spot welder. Alright. Now, of course, this is going to have a massive amount of slop, especially once I start getting running with the jigsaw. Okay. Yeah. Trying to think it might be easier to drill this one out. Or I can go for a straight cut. I am genuinely thinking I'm going to have to take this panel off. It's just going to be easier if I do. Fortunately, I did not glue it down or anything like that. About the most annoying part is that I have to take the microscope assembly off. This could take a few hours, so get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a ride. Hopefully not to the hospital. So measure twice, cut 30 times, throw it away and get a new one. Yep, that's pretty much how it goes. Now, of course, my father was a carpenter, construction worker, all that sort of stuff. And he was very good at his trade. And so whenever I do anything, it's always in the back of my mind that's like, what's Dad going to think of this? Ow. Especially now that... okay, we've got no nuts there, I've got no nuts there. Okay, it feels like I've got no nuts there at all. Mother flipper. Get that out of the way. Everything you think could get in the way will get in the way, and more. I can't take this... Actually, maybe I can now. I can't take this cross member normally off because it gets in the way of the microscope, but this time it came off because it was sloppy. I don't even have my proper chair here right now. I'm sitting on a aluminium stand thingy. I'll show you. Yeah. So we're going to be using that for cutting. Everything's a train wreck right now. Hey, Kenny Roman. Okay, come on. There we go. Alright. Should have cleared my desk more. This is now going to suck because I have to remove all of these very nicely filled in screws. Should hopefully come up pretty easy though. It's just more of a nuisance that I have to even remove them. It's hard work getting that hot glue to look that good. I had fun today. I was in Townsville today. A very hot day today. Even it was only 37 Celsius, but the humidity was really cranking it up, which made it most uncomfortable. Yeah, especially when you're leaving your car out in unprotected parking places. And by unprotected, we mean no protection from the sun, not no protection from robbers or anything like that. No one's worried about thieves. No sensible thieves would be out in this sort of weather. Okay. Yep, there's one more screw, of course. There's one more screw. Let's try to get this one up with this. Yeah, I should have done that with all of them. Okay, have I got another one? Maybe I just haven't drawn it. Oh, I haven't drawn that out enough. That should be everything. Alrighty. Over you go. Okay, this bench top, it's a laminate top, but then it's sandwiched. It's got, I think it's, I'm not sure which one's on top. I think it's chipboard on top and then MDF underneath that. Okay. It's still not a trivial exercise to cut that out. But we'll start by drilling holes so that we've got access for the jigsaw. Now normally I use a battery powered jigsaw, but because I'm going through 30mm, I'm going to be using my adjustable Ryobi. This is actually about the first jigsaw I really did like, mostly because it's fully variable, whereas all the previous... Yeah, you better run, Spider. It looks like it's been in the shed a little bit long though. Hopefully it won't be too bad. Let's see how it goes. Plug it in. Back test. Okay, I'm not dead. That's good. Yeah, but I love the way I can... It's fully variable right from this. That variability makes it so much easier to do these sort of jobs. Whereas the old ones were just flat out or maybe 2-speed, and you know, you'd never have the control of what you want. Alright, let's see. Yeah, we need a starting hole. I'll probably make 3, even though you only need 1, but I'm going to make it 3 so I can get the angles I want. Be right back. I'm going to get the drill bits. Unless they're in this room. I'm pretty sure they're in the next room. Ah. Well, that might have been misplaced confidence. Indeed, I think it might well have been. Aha, I have fooled thyself. Ah, they're at the bottom of the trolley. Okay. Yeah, Miles, I've actually done that. That's why this is hooked up like that. This here is about the only other one, but it swings around to the other side there. But I will do a visual check anyway. Safety first. This bit and I do not get along. That is a blood-tainted bit. It did a great number on my thumb about 10 years ago. And I know this is a terrible way to store bits, but well, that's what I do. I told you the other night I'm terrible on my equipment. The equipment has to be well engineered to endure abuse that I deliver. Hey, g'day, Jason. Yes, it is. Good that you start doing that. Yeah, double check. I've only got a network cable if worst. And Jason, I'm sorry I haven't had any luck with any of that equipment that you've sent me. I mean, seriously, I feel like the worst technician with the fact that I have basically told you with everything, no success, no success, no success. Now, I'm not actually going to try go all the way through with this one initially. I just want to get my distance. Okay. Helps it goes the other way. Oh, maybe this one actually will go all the way through. Ah. Alright, let's see how we go with that. Alright. Who cares about pilot holes when you've got this? Oh yeah. That is the underside, this laminate layer catching on the bit. Yep. Do I need adult supervision? Every time. Obviously it's wrecking, absolutely wrecking the underside. It'll be all chipped up and nasty. But I am drilling right through it, so I don't think that's really a factor at this point. Okay, I'm just going to do some cleanup as we go. I'm trying to think which is going to be best for me to plug into. I think of the one behind me. I don't really want to have cables coming across me on the front. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use a completely separate GPO. Okay, that's good. This is going to be a little bit loud. I'm sorry, folks. I do love that shot back. Steve, I'm improving it. Alright. I will not deny that the proximity here and using that is a concern to me. Trying to think, what do I need on there? Is there anything? Let me just switch this off and see what we lose. Okay, we lost our overheads there. But I can't undo this one. If I undo that one, we lose everything. Oh, well. Alrighty. Okay, so this has got a useless extractor. So we can try actually plug that in. Okay, it's not quite a perfect fit, that's fine. Where's my DB DACA? There we go. We've got the Make It Fit DB DACA. Get that out of the way. Because everything rattles so badly, even at the best of times with these, you kind of want to move a lot of things off the bench. Okay, let's swing that cable away so it's safe. Should be right. Yep. I don't even know what my cut style is on this at the moment. Okay, I need a bit more swing. I also need the vacuum cleaner going. That's pretty good. You gotta admit, that's pretty good. Yeah, damn right. I know, I noticed that after I... this blade's probably a tad blunt, but like I said, I am trying to chew through 30 mils, so gotta give it credit where it's due. Yeah, look, I'm gonna... That should be much quieter now. neighbours are kind of used to me doing this. By the way, I forgot the most important things. I may be partially deaf, but I need to protect what hearing I do have. I'm not doing so good on this direction, but I've got no choice. I can't come back around. Thanks, Damaris. Okay, we should be back now. Phew. Alrighty. Well, it's not all the way through because I intentionally didn't take it all the way through, because if I cut all the way through, then when you come back around to do the other side, it will flop around. It was already bad enough. But anyway, we just need to get a little bit of a hammering action here. I don't seem to have a hammer. How can I not have a hammer in this house? Yeah, we'll use this. Okay. That's better. Yeah, the neighbours are going to complain. Fortunately, that should have been the most noisy portion of it all. Okay. Alright, obviously that's not going to fit from the top because I've got the electrical cables there. Let's see. Bring it up like a baby. There we go. Alright, we've got some issues. You can't see this, but I can see that when I have... Okay, maybe we'll drop it a little more. Okay. Basically the problem I have is that I pushed it too hard, and it's not really there or there, but here it's just a little bit too, how could you say, it's cutting in, it's not vertical. My own dumb fault. I've just got to clean up the fine dust because this stuff is not nice to breathe. Just cut the electrical cables out of the way. It sounds like a brilliant idea, in fact. I'll go for that, yep. Alright. Where'd that mounting plate go? Ah, there it is. Now the trouble with this mounting plate is that... Okay, so I can screw it to the wall, but then I have to get these lugs. It's going to be a real sort of trial and error thing. Let's see, I'm trying to see what the height is going to be when I have the lugs run up. Sorry about seeing my back, better than my backside. Oh, here comes the police. Yeah, that should be actually be pretty much bang on. It's funny, the probably most accurate portion of this whole process is the one that I had no influence on. Alright, now I'm going to be able to put 2 screws in here that will go onto this particular portion, but I'm going to have to also have another piece of wood just here, because otherwise what will happen is the weight of the fan and the vibration, it will sort of tend to make it bow backwards. So we just put a bit of a spacer there. Yes. Unfortunately, that will not be a problem. I've got one prepared earlier. There. We just pump a couple of screws into there and it should be good. I actually don't even have to, what do you call it? I don't even have to attach it to the wall or anything. It just simply needs to act as a spacer because it'll be in compression the whole time anyway. Just have to find some better screws. Let's see, hex net, no, that's not good. Timber screws, these are button heads. I don't want button head. Button head's going to get sloppy. Where the heck are all my trumpet screws? Damn. This is when you start digging around. No, button. Trumpet that's 100 millimeters long. That's not gonna be very helpful. Silicon, yeah, we could use that. We're going to use lots of silicon. Make sure it's all sealed up nicely. The reason why the buttons are going to be not ideal, I should rather say, is that the diameter of the shaft is not sufficiently good, not sufficiently close to the diameter of the holes. So there's going to be a bit of wiggle. This will only take 1.5 inches. I don't know where all my screws are. Even this is going to go through too far. Man. Might have to go with the buttons. Not really the way I wanted to see things go. I suppose it's not too bad, particularly if I torque it down. Use pentalobe screw. I sure hope that I did this right, because it's going to be a pain to replace this bench otherwise. The cost isn't so much the issue, it's just the pain in the butt of actually having to do it. Oh, where did you go? Oh, there you are. Okay. How dare you fall off like that? If I was a true tradesman, I would have checked to see which face is actually flatter. I also wouldn't be going and using button screws to do this. Let alone ones that are probably an inappropriate thread for. These are probably plaster or something. Timber screws? Oh no, they're stitching screws, yeah. Yeah, it's just a real shame that you have to, once you set this up, you basically, it's very difficult to get the filter back out. Very difficult indeed, because you have to, the nubs that are on that filter, you have to get a screwdriver in here and lift this up so that you can then slide forward. And as you can imagine, when it's down there, it's going to be downright near impossible. I am genuinely a little bit scared about doing this, because I know once I lock it in, it's locked in. Yeah, scary feelings coming out. Maybe I should shave the locking, I'm just trying to think if I should shave the little locking bevels off, but I may regret that. Skip the screws. Use the glue, yeah. So, yeah, see, there's these little tabs here. And so when I push this on, that's it. It's done. There's no easy way to get that to disconnect again. What I would do previously is I would have a bolt going through the full shaft, through whatever it was, and then a nut up the top here, and I could just undo the nut, and then I'm kind of thinking I might have to actually shave these off, because otherwise I just can't see a way of getting it back out. Remove the nubs that lock it in, fasten with zip ties on. Well, I was going to use hot glue. Big risk. Big risk. I don't know why they had to make it that way. I guess it was cheap and easy. Cheerful and easy. Even just actually positioning this is going to be a schlep. Because I kind of have to know where it's going to go before I even put it there. Ugh, man. Why do they have to make my life hard? The other way is to... Well, maybe what I can do as an interim... Damn it, now I'm snaring the cables. Maybe what I can do as an interim is actually use these two holes here and then put them into the wall, and that can be my sort of securing point. What's this, Jim Allen? Still don't understand why he put the vent tube in front of an outlet that he may need to pull the plugs out. Oh, there'll be room for me to be able to pull these out. There'll be no trouble getting them out once this is all installed. Put a screw through. That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah, maybe just a couple of little... They don't even have to be big. Hell, they don't even have to be screws. It can just be sort of like 3mm wire or something that goes through. Yeah, I definitely think shaving the knobs is the only sane way of ensuring that we can get the damn thing back out. Because otherwise, it's genuinely going to be a case of, once I lock it in, it's done. And then I can cry all I want. It's not going to come back out without utilising unreasonable force. Let's see, I should have my knife around here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Must have fallen off during the earthquake. Why don't you put the HEPA filter on the front? The HEPA filter is going to be on top. Dennis, I did not. Two screws vertical. Oh, I just mentioned that. I just mentioned actually, yeah, thanks for reminding me about the rubber. There actually is... Where's the old one? I do have some compression stuff. This remains the old one. She'll be right, mate. There we go. You meant the rectangular box. Well, it doesn't really matter where I put the filter per se. Don't worry, wait till it's finished and then you can have a decide whether I've been a complete moron. Okay, so we need to do the fit up, which is quite tricky. Oh look, it holds itself there. Hey Paul, that is not good with your colitis diagnosis. That is very unpleasant. Very, very unpleasant, and people generally don't understand the agony. Okay. Right. Now we just need a magical fairy to... Oh, fire truck. Oh man, my arms aren't long enough. Okay, I'm gonna have to get down low and dirty to fit this, but hilariously I am not going to be able to see where that sits, so I'm going to have to actually make a second set of scribe marks. Well, let's destroy my good pen. Yeah, I have to make these second set of scribe marks because otherwise I can't see when I'm underneath where it's going to go. Wow, I just turned British. Fancy that. Must be the magician coming out in me. Okay, drop. Can't wait for the shaky microscope. Yeah, Repair Monkey. Actually, thanks for mentioning that. Now that you've mentioned it. Because that's not something that I experienced before because it was a detached unit previously. However, the bulk of the vibration is going to go still into the wall. But what I really need to do is clear this back a bit. Yeah, I'm going to have to clear this back a bit, which of course is going to be a right real pain in the ass. Kind of makes me think I should have actually just done a simple straight cut, and then I can just have a plate with the right sort of restraint of size. They're not. Because yeah, as it is at the moment, it won't be a huge amount, but I mean, when you're zoomed in, you are going to see it if it starts touching the inside there. So we need to decouple it slightly. I mean, it is quite a stable fan. It doesn't tend to have a, much of a shake rate. But now my biggest problem here is trying to work out how to make a cleanish cut. Hey, Tradie Trev. Yeah, the trouble is there's not enough clearance between. There's going to be direct contact with this whole size. It's a case of I made the hole too. I should have come out another 5mm, and then I could have packed it with some caulking or rubber or something like that. So I might have to actually redo all of this, but with a 5mm sort of gap. And that's going to be quite hilarious to get right. Doing curves away from your hand is actually downright impossible, nearly. Yeah. If I had my T-square, I'd just set the distance and go like that. The multi-tool. This sort of thing kind of demands a very aggressive strategy. Just trying to think which one. No, don't. I mean, a grind out would realistically, or router. A router would actually be fantastic. A router with a very long plunge bit, slow feed. But that's going to be extremely. If I did have a router, that would be just way too loud. Attach brackets to the fan, hold it over the cut hole. Steve, it's not really. We're going to be. The fan's going to be attached to this beam at the back here. So most of the vibration is going to go into the wall, which it always has. But the problem's going to be when it starts touching onto this here. And it doesn't have to be a lot, but if it's got full contact on any of it, it will indeed come up on the microscope. Why not make a cardboard template? Well, I suppose we just do the jigsaw again. Don't really have a lot of other options. I'm just gonna go grab my battery powered jigsaw. It tends to be substantially quieter, and if it can eat through this, then I would sooner, it might be worth taking that. So this may take me a few minutes. I've got to go find it. It's somewhere in my workshop, so it'll be about 3 or 4 minutes. Hey, Momo. What are you doing? Really? What's the matter? Wow. You're what? I haven't abandoned you. I'm just busy. Oh, I know. Wow. Oh, buddy, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just working in my workshop. You're right. What?
Oh god, just watching a video.
What are you doing?
Watched a video.
Why are you watching my video?
No, not your
Oh.
video.
Oh. Yeah, I'm making terrible noises.
Sorry.
Sorry. Oh, it's the jigsaw. Alright. Oh, geez, yeah. That's right, because I changed the. What do you call it? I changed the transmitter to the other one. Let's see. Jeez, does this thing even still work? That's an aggressive blade on it. We'll see how we go. Just elongate the hole so you can fit the bracket. What? I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, seriously? These batteries that crap? These batteries are about 4 years old. I just realised this also has a suction thing I can use. Except it's not big enough. Can you angle the cutting blade on the jigsaw perhaps to 30 degrees? I don't know. Oh, no wonder it crashes into that. There's a beam under there. I gotta say, for a battery powered one, it's actually doing surprisingly well. These are only meant for like 9mm ply and things like that, not for 30mm benches. Might try an aggressive drive. Yep, too aggressive. Come back. I'm losing control of this one because it's biting forward too much. I got salt in my eye, sweat in my eye. The pain. Oof, sting. Oh man. Whew. Yeah, you want to sweat in the eye. Nasty stuff. Tell you what, it's not so bad. At least when you're at home, you can do something about it, wash it out. But the worst is when you're riding your motorbike and you're on the freeway or something like that, and you start getting sweat in the eye, and you think, oh, I'll just flush it out, and it just gets worse and worse and worse until you got no choice. You have to pull over, or you start riding blind. Very dangerous. All right, let's just gonna clean up the mess. Well, that was my that was my MagSafe 2 adapter. It's in the bin now at the vacuum cleaner. I'm gonna have to get that out. Jim Allen for the hospital. What? There's no hospital bill. It's just salt in the eye. Salt in the eye. Okay, let's get back to the overhead. That's more interesting. There we go. Okay, so it's not very round, but we don't really care. I gotta admit, I am actually impressed. Yeah, this is only a 10-volt setup, but I think the winner here was the blade, whereas I think the blade on the mains powered one, I think that's kind of had its day. I mean, it is about 15 years old now. Probably, and that's probably the standard blade that they ship with it rather than anything actually good. Those surgeon circuits, never leaves your blood though. Try climbing around people's houses in the middle of Queensland summer to run. Oh no, hell no, Tradie Trev, stuff that. I was up in the roof the other day running the Cat 6 cable, and that's a big fat no-no. Even in winter, I was worried for a bit there I was going to get jammed up there. Got raspberry jammed. Let's have a look at what damage I've done now. Okay, yeah, we're pretty clear. The front slightly approaching, but it's not, it's workable. Alright. Yeah, it's just a 3-cell battery. It's, yeah. But yeah, Tradie Trev, now stuff that, mate. I'm not getting up on roofs, so you got my full respect for that sort of job. Even in winter, well, it's and the crampness. Like, we've got a low pitch roof, and that makes it quite annoying to get anything done. APR. Alright, so at this point I'm going to try and put a couple of these stupid button head stitching screws in, and hopefully I'll get the alignment right. So I'm not sure if I'm going to need my extension bit or not. Yeah, I'm going to have to get my head completely under here. This is serious work. Where's my glasses? Safety. Make friends with Safety Sam. I don't know many people that actually remember that. Now I'm going to need my long bit. Long bits seem really cool. Like when you're younger, you kind of think, "Whoa, I want a foot long driver bit for this one," and then you realise that they're definitely not cool, because they just mean that you're gonna probably spin off
Suck on that. Ah, caught my network cable. Okay, all good. Crisis mitigated. But I gotta say, in this particular instance, the 6-inch extension is actually useful. Alright, here goes the commitment. I don't think I was this nervous when I was getting married. Oh, you little mongrel, you're not going to fit, are you? Little mongrel. Try it this way. Now I'm reliving Rain Man's worst nightmares. Okay. Try another option here. I just don't know if it's going to work. Why did that do? Okay. Alright, that portion's in. And how the fuck am I going to lock in the other portion? No, I can't. Actually, looking at this, I should be able to put it in because all I'm having to do is just deform that a little bit. So I'm just being a wuss about it. Trying to get serious and give it some... show it who's boss today. And I'll be nice to it tomorrow, I promise. Take you out for dinner. Yeah. Ka-chunk. Aligned. Locked. Flickety flick, feckety flick. I thought all I would have to do is deform it, but it seems like I'm the one that has to be the contortionist here. Fuck. Yeah. HEPA 5. Alright, there is another option at hand here. I don't know if I even tried this. Will this even work? Have I forgotten about this? Okay, you are... Okay, let's see if this... Shit, I didn't realise that. Okay, this whole top panel, the white section that you're seeing, is actually only held in by two itty bitty little screws at either end, and they just simply stop it shifting forward, that's all. So I'm going to have to do those screws, slide the bench top forward, slip the thing up and in, and then screw it back. And now I suspect I have been demonetized. One. Yeah, come on. Oh, crikey. The joints are telling me, hey Paul, guess what? Guess how old you are, buddy? Tell you what, you're not in your 20s. Oh, come on. My wife's going to come in soon and yell at me. The only hiccup, of course, is that I put this corner bench and I butted the corner bench straight up against... Yeah, anyway. Ta-da! Magic! Haha! Now, as long as the bloody thing doesn't fall on me while I'm under here, because it's about a 60-70 kg bench top. It's going to hurt if it falls on me. Now, around about this point, $1,000 dedicated fume extraction systems are looking awfully tempting. Patink! And that's how we know we're back into alignment, because everything else drops back into place. Okay, we are definitely going to need to put some locking screws in there because, yeah, it's now falling forward. Locking screws. I've got some that are probably quite suitable for this. We do not want, this time we don't want trumpet head. This time we want, just round nose or something like that. Oh, actually maybe these will work. Yeah, okay, these are countersunk, but they'll do the trick. They're pretty itty bitty. I'll get to the comments shortly. I'll just kind of dedicated to the yeah. Okay, downside of them being itty bitty, can't exactly use that. I suppose I could drill a 1mm pilot hole into them. Assuming I had a 1mm drill bit. Okay, I've got one around here somewhere. Zip ties around the fan bracket, eh? And I'm not going to be able to actually get a drill down there anyway. Maybe what I can do is actually use a really fat one and then just jam it in the corner like that. Yeah, okay, I might just use a fat one and jam it in the corner. It's a pretty disgusting way of doing it. I'm disappointed in myself too. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. It would, yes, any 555, it certainly would. But we're not doing it that way. Okay, that's not going anywhere. Alright, now, how many of you have ever thought of putting your hand inside a incinerator? Tempting, isn't it? Can get real tempting. Watch those fan blades spin around. So as you can see, there's not a lot of noise. This is about the level that I use typically. And that's full speed. So yeah, basically I have an incinerator. Any MacBooks or iPhones or anything that doesn't pass the test gets thrown in there. Essentially we just have to put now a case above that and seal it. That's going to be the fun part, because there's not much point trying to draw through a fairly resistant filter if you've got whopping great big gaps everywhere. Screw the white tap back before you forget. It's locked in by, there's a shelf over there that locks it in. So it's really not going to go anywhere. It's actually very difficult. Let's see how this goes. It's actually surprisingly strong on the draw there. Let's get a... let's get some flux fumes going. You can't see a damn thing because of the colour. Let me find something. Yeah, I tried at my normal. This is what I normally have it at in terms of. That is actually pretty damn good considering it has no sealing around it at all. That's just throw the filter on, it's done. Another job well done. Can you still smell it? A small amount, but not a huge amount, but a small amount. Usually underneath what you don't get to see is my secondary filter, and I'll show you that. I'll just go grab one.
Oh, buddy. I know. What?
Oh, damn, your claws are sharp. Ow, that's my flesh.
What?
Yeah, I know. What's the matter? Chainsaw in the way? No, I can't leave that there. You guys will play with it. Kitty cat's not allowed to play with chainsaws. Hey, Macro. You go. Oh. Dude, come on, man. You gotta let me get back to work. Come here. Milo. Milo. We're gonna be, yeah. No sniffing inside the old filter.
No, you can't come in. No.
Ugh. It's always fun trying to get in and out. Okay, this here is one of the old filters. Oh, Mo, really? What? Alright, buddy, I'll let you in. Just give me a second to clean up. Ugh. Doink. Come on. Come in. Come on. Don't let your brother see. Come here. Come here, you. There, so this is one of the old filters. It's a 2-foot long carbon canister, though I'll be changing it to a 1-foot long carbon canister. Hopefully they'll have the 200mm diameter ones. I don't want to have to do a downsize. See, this is what I'm doing. Right, had enough? Come on then, let's get you out of here. Ugh. Here you go. Phew. Fun and games. Alright. Okay, yeah, so this here is what I previously have been using, and yeah, you just buy them, 2-foot carbon canister. They're only about $100 or so, and they last quite a few years. But yeah, I'm going to have to go with a 1-foot long one because this will not sit underneath the bench anymore. The only other way I could go about it is if I just get some of that flexible conduit and from the back of this, and then bring it into the turn that carbon canister off a little bit further down. Alright, let's get the fume draw tester out of the way. Alright, well, that was a pleasant surprise as to how effective that was. There is a slight problem that I've just realized, and that is that I was planning on this actually sitting a little bit proud, so that I could then put a like a 9mm thick plywood panel there, which would then have this on it. It seems I do not have that in my favor today. Get some air conducting there. Well, yeah, I mean, you get 200, the 8-inch, 200mm stuff. It's a little bit hard to find than the 6-inch. 6-inch is like everywhere. You want ducting, 6-inch, 150mm, no problem. You want 200mm, 8-inch? Yeah, no thanks. Jim, yeah, no, that's, you don't have to guess that. That's a known fact. So I'm trying to think how I can go about this. One idea I've got is maybe I can just simply create a rubber ring. So I get my, let's see. This is a skeleton of the old one. A skeleton of the old vertical holder. There, that's where the screwdriver is. Just get this wrong way. Reverse. Come on. Wow, I actually put washers on that one? Yeah, man, I was getting desperate. Hot glue cannot handle the force. There. Use a reducer. There's another idea. Yep, we could do. But the trouble is, when you see, like, I mean, I do have this reducer, like that, but I'd rather not. I prefer to have the maximum unimpeded intake diameter, because the moment you start doing reducing and things like that is when you lose the pressure that you need to be able to effectively draw air through these filters. Particularly if I start doing things like putting a pre-filter on top of that, like, yeah, it's just, it gets more difficult. Or even stacking two of them together is the other possibility.
Anyway, what I was thinking is, yeah, I can just sort of get probably inch wide rubber and then simply wrap that around and then bond it with whatever to there, and that will give me an airtight seal, but you won't have the physical coupling that will cause the vibrations to happen. Hey, bee blood, make a cardboard circle. Basically, if I just find an 8-inch diameter silicon ring shroud or something like that, it would do the trick. But I'm probably going to have to make one myself. You're not scrubbing CO2 for breathing now. No, that's what my lungs are for, and the trees outside. So, tradie Trev. Yeah, phew. Look, when I was younger, obviously, I didn't really bother with fume extraction too much. I mean, when I was doing my manufacturing, I hate to say this, but sorry, just doing the old lead grab from the back. I didn't have a good filtering system installed, and it was probably a mistake, but it is what it is. But I do try to make sure I do better now. Expandable foam, that's another idea. What do I use for cooling? I've got a air conditioner behind me here. Let's see. Yeah, there's the air conditioner. And naturally the oven's right next to the air conditioner, but fortunately the oven doesn't run that long. Crotch shot. Nice. Okay, so what have we got? Flex seal, RVT seal maker, but silicon expanding foam. The trouble with that will be that it's brittle, but it's a good idea. I suppose what you're thinking of is, if I say, prep a template like this with the bottom. In fact, I could probably just use that. Nah, it's too nasty. I'll make myself a new one. This one's been through the wars. Prep a template and maybe... Oh, there's many options. Well, I'll go down the hardware store tomorrow and see what I can find. That will do the trick. Carbon piece of... Yes, piece of paper. That's what I was thinking of, Rodrigo. Yeah, just sort of like make a piece of paper that will match and then build something on the outside of it. Probably safe. Yeah, thanks for that. You gotta be careful though, some components might come flying up out of there. I'm actually surprised at how quiet it is, because when it was up here there was definitely a lot more of a noise, but down here it's actually delightfully cool on my legs right now. It's like coolness. Weather strip used for doors, that's a good idea too. You can try that. Let's see what stuff we've got here. I'll probably avoid using something like sheet metal because it's too rigid. Okay, this stuff's not wide enough, but yeah, if you get 1 inch wide, that's probably going to be enough to couple it. Cork, maybe a little bit rigid. Oh, this is so nice. I'm going back to full speed. That is actually luxury on the legs. Oh yeah. Oh shite. Well, that bug that went in there, it's not with us anymore. We need to bow our heads for the loss of that bug. Alright, let's just try to put the good suggestion there about the microscope. So let's try to put the bench panel back on and then put the microscope on. Actually, maybe I don't need to. I can put it back in its old holes. It'll give us an idea at least.
fit in there. Now I've got to find the nuts. And they're annoying square ones too. I don't know why I didn't get hexagonal ones. Why the hell would I get square ones? I think it was just a case of I used whatever was in the packet when I bought those screws that you can see there. Yeah, they come in those combo packets. Let's see, where'd you go, screws? I know I threw them somewhere casually. Oh, you can bet your boots that they're going to be some bizarro thread that I actually don't have any other instances of anywhere in the workshop. Seriously? What am I going to do? I have to chemically fuse the stuff in there now? There's no way I've lost all 6 screws. Most embarrassing. Why not put the wood on if you're going to mount them? I just want to... Holy crap, they actually fit, these little random... I just picked a random thing. I'm not going to mount it permanently because I've still got more work to do with the extractor hood. Ah, there we go. There's one down here. Okay, I've got 2 squares and a couple of hexes. Should do the trick. Because yeah, I'm going to be taking this back off. Okay. I love it when you can spin the nuts and they just, yeah, they ride along the thread without any sort of stalling or stuttering or anything like that. Just like, ah. It's kind of like when you cut Christmas wrapping paper and it, you know, with the scissors, you know, it just slides along. Why can't things always be luxurious like that? Alright, that's that. I've got the microscope head. It needs a serious clean. Just be delicate with it. Ah, there's what I was after. The 4K camera and various adapters are on their way now that China has finally decided to start working again. Oh, mongrel, come on. Forgot about this ginger pull. There we go. Just. Seriously needs a clean. Oh, we're going near the light ring as well, so we won't see anything. And unfortunately, it does have a lot of dust on it right now. Good. Okay, there's light. There's so much more crap in this room than I need right now. Yes, Greg, the this filter here will sit over the actual fan assembly. But we're not quite ready for that today or tonight. It's already getting a bit late. Okay, I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick this up. See, microscope. Damn it. I don't know why it's showing job data. Let's see if it comes back when I repower it. Come on. Okay. Alright, what I'm going to have to do is quit back out and then come back in, so it won't be a second. Okay, we should be back. Microscope. Yep, okay, we've got a microscope. I don't know why it does that with that card. For some reason it just loses... Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. Okay, I'm massively out of... Okay, so it's that. Alright, let's see how we go. Hopefully nothing gets snared in that fan. Okay, so that's maximum fan. You gotta admit, that's pretty good. That's maximum zoom. If I tap the bench, tapping the bench causes more than the fan itself. I'll turn the fan off and see if it changes. Okay, so that's fan off. I very rarely work at that distance. Yep. But yeah, the wobble is more me switching things on and off. Okay, let's go fan again. It is there. You can see it, but that's incredibly low. And like I said, that's at maximum fan, which is not really something I run at. So I'm just going to get this focus right. Yeah, so that's maximum fan. And that's the normal sort of fan that I work at. So I think it's perfectly okay. I mean, could it be better? Sure. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, it's shaking all around. That's weird. I can actually see the shakes more than you can. Yeah, I can feel it. It's, I don't know if it's... That's interesting. It's actually more coming through the filter. So I'm going to have to make sure that the filter is decoupled. Yeah. Yeah, there's more wobble due to the handling. Yeah. The reason why you probably can't see the shakes when I got the filter is because of the fact that the frequency that it's occurring at is probably such that it just gets aliased out from the... Yeah, I can definitely see it, but You won't be able to. Yeah, you can probably get it now. That's crazy, it doesn't show up on the camera. You actually get a better view than I do. Funny. Yeah, let's go to overhead. Alright, the reason why it's causing shakes is because the vibration of the air itself is like tapping on this. So it's vibrating very quickly because the air being drawn through, but it's not actually making physical contact with this. So what I might do to combat that is I will actually make it that this filter assembly sits proud of the bench. It doesn't actually touch the bench. So we'll do that. Didn't see any at 144. Yeah, that's good. Is video stable? No, it would just be a case of the vibration happens to be such that it mostly ends up in the same place, or it's aliasing it, and yeah. Decoupled filter and tight. Yeah, yeah. So I think what we'll do is we'll make a little pipe that's perhaps, pardon me, hiccups high. Yeah, we'll make a little pipe that stands inch and yeah, just an inch high, 3 centimeters, and then on that we will build our filter assembly, and it will not touch this bench top. And by not touching the bench top, then that sort of eliminates that problem. Rubber washer would help. Yeah, something like a toilet bung, although you don't get them for that size. But yeah, if I create a little pipe riser, then it doesn't even have to be anything vibrational resistant. Then it can just be rigid, because this is not going to touch, and there's enough gap here that it's not going to matter either. GD Tech, I'd love to see what you come up with. You'll probably do a much better job than what I am here. Stovepipe, yeah, there you go once again, stovepipe, that's the idea. Good job. Isn't the fan attached to the wall brace, which in turn attached to the brace on the... It is attached to this wall brace, but this is, it's on 220 thick solid block. So yes, it's not fully decoupled, but it is decoupled sufficiently. The main vibration that you're seeing, or main vibration that I am seeing, is actually... don't do that, Paul. You never know... Yeah, okay, I'll disconnect with it. Is from the fan blades, not really from the air movement. It's not from the instability of... There's no balance problems or anything like that, is what I'm trying to say. Wide heat shrink tubing, that's going to be some pretty big heat shrink tubing. Try the same experiment during sundown and sunset, and you'll get another 1050 hertz pulse, which affects the motors. Is that just because of the load on the network? Auto door seal, there's another good idea. Slip it on the pipe and give you the lift you want. Yeah, that's another good idea. Yeah. So basically what we'll have to do tomorrow is, all we're going to do is create the box that will hold our filter. And that shouldn't be too much drama. Famous last words, I know. Very famous last words. The concept will be fairly simple. We'll have some 9mm ply down the bottom. Basically like this. And then we'll have kind of that. Now that I'm looking at it, this is going to be too big. I might only go... maybe it's not too big. Anyway, so we'll just make a nice little box like that, and then where we want this filter to sit, we'll just have perhaps some 5mm thick edging on the inside, just so that the suction will then lock it down against this foam edge. Should do the trick fine. Or I can not even bother with that. I can just make it so that it just simply sucks itself to the ground.
Wouldn't be a good seal though. You should do a 45 tube towards you to spin. Yeah, that's the other part that I was going to get to, is that I would have a shroud coming up and over, so that you basically, it's forcing the air to be drawn from the front rather than from all directions, which it currently was. Which means, as you can see, it was already strong enough on the lowest performance to draw fumes from back here without any problems. So if you shroud it with only one inlet, then it really is not going to be a problem at all. Shouldn't be too much of. Yeah, I know. It was dumb of me to do that, Miles. Search duct vibration isolator on Google. Well, like I said, we're not going to really have to worry about isolation now, because we've decided we're just going to go for stovepipe type extension, and then the box will sit on top, and that will be, it will have no physical touch on the bench. If you have thin balsa sheets, the only trouble with the balsa will be the inherently brittle nature of most of it. I mean, I could do, like if you do end grain, yeah, how you can sort of like make cowling and stuff like that with end grain. But it still does have a tendency to split along the grain, of course, when you do it that way. You could make a plywood, balsa plywood laminate, but yeah, we're kind of getting out of it. I think just a stovepipe extension sealed into a bottom plate like that, raised up by about, it only has to be 5 mil, and then box in the filter. We're done. Plumbing pipe ring, there, that idea too. Hey Raka from Serbia, good evening. Exhaust all air outside. The big problem with exhausting air onto the outside is in summer I will cook, because there's no way this thing will move at full speed. It'll move 1,000 square meters an hour, so let's call it 300 after the filter, and maybe 100 at the low speed, and there's no way my air conditioner is going to be able to keep cooling down new fresh air that fast. Take a 90-inch stovepipe. 90-inch stovepipe could be I think just a wooden shroud's going to do me fine, like angled up from. Yeah, it'd be easier if I just do it and show you. Because I did have, like I was using this here, the elbow joint previously, that, and so it would give me that effect. But that was because I was finding that it would just draw everything up too much. Have fixed the fan to we're a different frequency, Osgrid, Sydney. Oh, okay. Buy a 3D printer, that's another idea. It's also another problem. Over-engineering, aha! This is as simple, I think, as it needs to be. I do cheat. I like to use wood because metal cuts a lot more. Cuts me, opens up my flesh. But wood is nice and cheap. It's easy. Yeah, my favorite glue, Aqua here. Good stuff. There's so much of that stuff. I mean, just the smell of it gives me nostalgia. Oh yeah, that's some stuff. I need more desk real estate to make a good fume extractor setup. That is the other hard thing. If you don't have the desk room for it, then you basically have to go for something, one of the commercial solutions, and have the little extendable hoses. The thing I hate about a lot of those is that they're only giving you 4-inch diameter hoses, and you've got to keep shifting that nozzle to a position where it will actually pick up the fumes. You've got to keep playing with it, which plays havoc for when you've got the microscope and you've got screens. It just doesn't work out well for this type of environment. It works out fine if all you're doing is on the assembly line and you've just got the board there, you can stick the nozzles there and you're good. Wood also opens up your flesh. Remember, that was 200 by 50, so I'm not dealing with anything that big, thankfully. Then again, arrows are kind of good at opening up flesh. Huffing glue. It's not huffing. It's like fine wine. You've got to check to see what
you've got there. Yeah, I don't know what other brands are like. I've pretty much always used Selleys. Every now and then I'll use the outdoor grade one. Which one is that? That's exterior grade. But 99% of the time, all of my woodworking projects, I just use this one. That and nails or screws. Ow, damn. See, metal just cut me right now. This ladder just slashed me on the back of the leg. Okay. Yours is lower, but we have more distance to cover. Well, suction is, yeah, that's the other thing. The suction is pretty awful. If you was to buy a 3D printer, which one would it be? I actually don't know. I don't know anything about 3D printers really, other than the fact that they, print. I understand how they work and everything, but I've never got one. I'm sooner going to get myself a CNC router than I am a 3D printer. Hey, Crazy Logic. Alright, well, I think it's, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Time for me to go sleep. I am happy that we got this far. I'm actually quite surprised and impressed at how good that battery-powered Makita jigsaw was. I was not expecting it to get through this stuff. I mean, I'll show you. Oh, I just realized this is actually double chipboard. It's not MDF and chipboard as I thought. Damn it, I got duped. Yeah, so that's the construction of these bench tops. 32mm, 216 thick chipboard. And for the fact that that battery-powered jigsaw, 10.8 volt, chewed through it, got through, I'm very impressed. So I won't be throwing that out in a while. Alright, okay, I'm out of here. Let's see, I'll wave you all out. Yeah, so I'm out of here. Thanks all for watching, and I'll continue on tomorrow. We'll have another stream, and hopefully we can finish this up in part 2, though there may be a part 3, but we'll see. Nice weekend project, and by all means, have a shot at doing it yourself. You can get these fans. They're very cheap on eBay. They're about $160. They're pretty efficient. They're only 150 watts of power. And like I said, they really move the air around so much better than the other fume extractors. And these things, these are just audio car interior HEPA filters. This one's for a Ford BA, which funnily enough is my car. But that's not why I picked it. I picked it because it was the simplest construction and cheapest. And if you're really concerned, you can always stack 2 of them together. This thing's got more than enough power to do it. Alright, I'm out of here. Take care. And I'll see you tomorrow.